Hi, I'm David Allen Greer, President for 2013 of the IEEE Computer Society, and I'm here to give you a few thoughts for the new year. The transfer of leadership, after all, really says more about the organization than it says about any one individual. And to understand a little bit more about this organization and about the individuals who have led it, I've been turning back to the presidential messages of former presidents. I like that. I'm not much of a historian, but I like to probe the past to understand the lessons that I can glean from it. When my career hit a bit of a bump several years ago, I discovered I could read through the old papers of John von Neumann in the Library of Congress. I strongly recommend it, even if your career is in good shape. Well, in this case, I turned to the presidential message of Sam Levine, who was president in 1967. Mr. Levine was very active in trying to get the society, then the Computer Working Group, ready to become the society. It became a society in 1970. In the process, he looked at the ideas and opportunities that were there. The IEEE in 1967 was still a very new institution, having been formed only 3 years before. And in it, he saw that he could form a computer society that was probably pretty independent, pretty autonomous. And he made that clear in his message. He put together a lot of ideas, most of which are quite familiar to anyone who's been part of the society, and a few who are not, and a few which end up looking kind of quaint in this day and age. He was very concerned about getting ideas out to new students, and he saw speaker series and traveling itinerant speakers as a way of getting to those students. But most of all, he was looking to the future, and he saw tasks and ideas that the society need to accomplish. If you read through the Computer Working Group notes, which is where I'm getting all this, you discover that the key issue of the age was reliability of components. Indeed, we're so used to machines working when we want them to work, we forget that this was once an issue, and that some computers measured their mean times between failures to be in minutes, sometimes not even in the triple digits. This was a key issue of his time. He makes very little mention of software, though he talks about the different kinds of people who are drawn to computing. Indeed, just 1 year later, we start seeing the cascade that makes software a big industry and a bigger field of research. We have Garmisch in October 1968, which marked the start of interest and definition of software engineering. IBM that year also debundled its software. It charged for them as a separate entity and invited others to sell products, to sell software, to their sites as well. It took time for that software industry to build and ultimately become a dominant force in computer science. It's one of those things that was slightly hidden to the leaders of those times. And right now, I think one of the great challenges of leadership in any society that deals with technical subjects is that issue of the seen and the unseen. The seen is all around us, and we think it's important, and we're trying to move it forward and advance it and help it grow and flourish. The unseen are the things we miss, we don't know, the trends that are there that we can't find. And yet, some of them, at least a few, will take over our society and become a dominant force. So our task is to make the seen, what we know, commonplace, something that we forget about because we have done it well, and to find the unseen, the things that are going to dominate the world in the coming years and decades, and to put them central into our organization. With that, we probably have a couple of things that this year's leadership needs to do. First is to see what we can do to develop institutional mechanisms to better see what's coming, to better understand the new technology and know what it is and what we can do with it. Second is to take what we're doing now and try and put it in that systematic, regular, unseen category. SWEBOC is certainly one of those things. It has become a major entity that we support. It is, after all, an ISO standard and defines definitively what software engineering is to the world. We're working on a third generation of it. And the volunteers who are working on it are doing a terrific job trying to bring it to the fore so that when it comes out, it too will be something we take for granted, even though we are extremely grateful for all of the work that people did to create it. Finally, one of our tasks is to take what we have and assess our strengths, know what we're good at, and identify that as the core value of the society. I've been surprised to learn over the last 6-8 months the large fraction of our members who identify themselves as security engineers, as people who are primarily involved in protecting and defending our systems. That's clearly a core value, and we've got to make sure that that's understood and appreciated. This, of course, leads me to my third point. We need to take a public stance. We need to say these are our values, this is what we offer to the world, this is what we accomplish, and make sure that the IEEE is aware of it, which they certainly are, the other societies, and the public at large. Communicating our strengths is a key issue. Well, everyone should have a list of 3 things they're going to do. I actually have a 4th I just tacked on. That 4th is to recruit new leaders. We need to make sure that we have a new generation of leaders rising into the positions of trust, of organization, and control. The reason we do this is that the leadership, the individuals, carry with them the values and ideas of the work that is being done. Right now, our leadership was drawn largely from the group of people that helped develop the software industry and brought it to fruition. The people who are graduating from school today and next year and the year after that deal with slightly different problems. They see other things that are central to their lives, and I think comprehend computer science and computer engineering as something that is much bigger and much more embedded in other technical systems, in social systems, in political and economic systems, and in educational systems. Because of that, they bring their own values to the society, and we need to make sure that they are ready for leadership as soon as their time comes. So this is my message, my first for the year. I'm going to be doing them regularly on podcasts. I've come to enjoy this medium. And I trust that if you have any ideas, any thoughts, any questions, you'll get in touch with me, and I will do my best to either answer them or find the person who can. For now, this is David Alan Greer for the IEEE Computer Society. Welcome to 2013.